Thick plumes of crimson dust swirled around the barren landscape of Vectaris 7, a planet orbiting a distant star on the outer fringes of the galaxy. Here, where sunlight was scarce and every sound seemed swallowed by the harsh air, everything felt hostile. It was the last place any sane person would choose to settle down. But for Reeve, a young human mechanic scraping by on salvage work, the planet's vast graveyards of abandoned spacecraft and decrepit machinery were a treasure trove of parts he could sell for food and fuel. One day, while combing through the wreckage of an ancient freighter half buried in the red sand, Cam heard something, a faint, rhythmic tapping. It was barely audible, but unmistakably artificial. Curious, he pried open a hatch that led to the lower cargo bay. The darkness inside was absolute, and the air was thick and stale. He pulled out a dim light, sweeping it across the bay. Amid shattered crates and scattered debris, two figures huddled close together. They were small, no taller than his waist, with thin, shimmering skin that gave off a faint, iridescent glow. Large, dark eyes stared up at him in fear and desperation. "What are you two doing here?" Cam asked, stunned. The figures shrank back, clutching each other tighter. They looked like children, alien children. With a trembling hand, one of the twins extended a device that Cam recognized as a translator. We are all that's left," a soft, trembling voice said. It was hard to tell which of them was speaking. Their lips didn't move in the way he was accustomed to, but the translator picked up their intentions and converted them into his language. "Left of what?" Cam asked, crouching to look them in the eyes. The other twin spoke this time, eyes wet with tears that shimmered in the dim light. "Our ship, destroyed in the attack. Our people gone. We hid, waited, but no one came." Cam's heart clenched. These twins were alone, left defenseless on a hostile planet, surviving only by some miracle. "They must have thought you'd been well. Never mind that," he said, trying to sound reassuring. "You're not alone now. I'll help you." The twins exchanged glances, their expressions unreadable but clearly wary. "My name's Cam," he added softly. "I'm a mechanic, or well, a scavenger really, but I know my way around broken things." The twins finally relaxed just a bit. "I am Ka, and this is Sia," said the one holding the translator. "We are Thalans." Cam hadn't met Athalan before, but he'd heard rumors about their powerful, far-reaching civilization, known for technological marvels that could bend space and time. It was impossible to believe these two frail, frightened twins were related to the legends of the Lawn's supremacy. And yet here they were, abandoned, barely alive. After checking for injuries, Cam led them out of the freighter's hold and to his small rover parked nearby. It wasn't much, just a rickety transport pieced together from salvage parts. Still, it was safe enough. The twins clambered in, huddling close for warmth as the temperature dropped. Over the next few days, Cam noticed things that made him wonder how much these two were hiding. He'd often find Ka staring intensely at a broken piece of machinery. Later, Cam would return to find the part mysteriously fixed. He even caught Sia once, hands hovering over the rover's engine, a faint glow surrounding her fingers. It was almost as if she were communicating with the machinery, coaxing it back to life. Finally, one night, as they huddled around a small, flickering fire, he couldn't hold back his curiosity. How are you doing that? I thought your power was, well, just a legend." Ka and Sia exchanged glances, their faces cast in the fire's orange glow. "Our people are known for our ability to manipulate energy," Ka admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "But we've barely begun our training. Without a proper tutor, we can't control it well. The energy here, it's heavy, hostile. We're not used to it. Still, you're doing better than I could in a situation like this," Cam replied with a smile, trying to ease their nerves. "I've been on this planet for months, and I still feel like I'm fighting against it every day." Sia tilted her head. "Why are you here, Cam? You have no family, no ship. You struggle as much as we do." Cam stared at the fire, feeling a pang in his chest. He rarely talked about why he was here, about the accident that had left him stranded on Vectaris 7. But something about the twins made him want to open up. "Lost my ship on a salvage run," he said, keeping his voice steady. Barely made it out alive. Got stuck here, and I've been making do ever since. Saving up to buy a ticket off this rock. Maybe find a new ship. Ka and Sia looked at him, their eyes filled with something he hadn't expected: sympathy. "We know what it is to lose a home," Sia whispered, placing a delicate hand on his shoulder. In that moment, Cam realized he was no longer just a mechanic, a scrapper trying to survive. He was their protector. Over the next few weeks, Cam taught them everything he knew about the planet. How to avoid the more dangerous creatures, where to find the rare plants that could be used for food or medicine, and which signals meant hostile scouts or raiders. They, in turn, taught him about energy manipulation, sharing small tricks and methods to strengthen machinery or coax power from unlikely sources. One evening, as they sat overlooking the desolate, rust-colored plains, Sia turned to him with a serious expression. "We want to help you, Cam. If we combine our energy, we could repair your ship. It wouldn't be much, but you could leave." Cam's heart raced. Freedom had been a distant dream until now. And yet, he looked at Ka and Sia, saw the hope and fear mingling in their eyes. "I can't leave you two here," he replied firmly. "You're coming with me?" The twins' eyes widened. "But the danger," Ka stammered. "We'll be safer together," Cam said. "We've come this far, haven't we?" It took several grueling days to ready the old ship, which was hardly more than a shell. But with the twins' help, they managed to patch it together and coax it to life. As Cam powered up the engine, he glanced back at them, a strange pride swelling in his chest. They were no longer frightened children, and he was no longer a lonely mechanic scraping by. As the ship rose above the hostile sands of Vectaris 7, Cam caught one last glimpse of the endless wreckage below, a graveyard of lost dreams and broken lives. But he was done with that. Together, they were heading towards something new, something better. And as he looked at Ka and Sia, their eyes wide with awe as they left the hostile planet behind, he realized he'd found a family in the unlikeliest of places. They were no longer abandoned, no longer defenseless. They had each other, and that was enough.